Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I've got 5 super easy coastal DIYs to share with you that are very budget friendly because most of them are made from Dollar Tree products. They are all very neutral, so you could just kind of blend them in with any kind of decor that you have. So if you want to know how to make them, stick around. I hope you do. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay, for this first one, I'm just taking one of the little incense burners from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to paint it with some oil rub bronze paint. Okay, next I just got a small round bowl from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to fill up the bottom part with some white sand. Okay, then I got a potpourri set from Michael's. It's just a spring collection with some driftwood and some pieces that are like sea related, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill up the bottom of these with this. Just kind of randomly put them in there. Okay, then I'm just going to put the lid right on top of it. The incense lid fit perfectly on that. That one was super simple, but I really love the way that turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments and let me know which one's your favorite today. Okay, for this one, I'm going to take 2 of the Flamingos from Dollar Tree, and then I'm going to take 4 1/4" by 12" dowel sticks, and I'm going to sharpen the end with a pencil sharpener. And then in place of the wire that comes with these Flamingos, I'm just going to push these right up in here. Now, you are going to have to cut it open just a little bit with your scissors. Just don't cut too much because you do want these to be snug. And you're going to put 2 in each one of the Flamingos. Okay, next I'm going to paint them both with a Krylon River Rock paint, and I'm going to put them into some styrofoam to stand them up so that it's a little bit easier to coat them. Next, I'm going to take 2 plaques from Hobby Lobby that measure about 4 inches, and I'm going to sand them with some sandpaper. Now, take some time on this part because that is going to be a focal part, and you want to kind of get all the edges, sanded down pretty smooth. I'm going to try to find my center point on this. Now, it doesn't have to be exact. You can just eyeball this. And then go ahead and make a mark on both sides of that hole, and we're going to drill 2 holes in this to add our dowel sticks. And I'm going to start with a small drill bit first just to get my pilot hole started. And you're going to go all the way through this plaque. Just kind of space them out. Just, maybe there's a 1/2 inch between the 2 sticks. And then we're going to mark the other one on top of that one so that they're even. And then we're going to go ahead and switch to the 1/4" drill bit, and we're going to drill our holes a little bit bigger. This way our dowel stick will fit snug in these. But you do want to go all the way through your plaque. Okay, then go ahead and test a dowel stick before you paint these. And we're going to paint these with that same River Rock color paint first, and then we're going to add a texture paint to them. Now I'm going to use the textured Rust-Oleum Desert Bisque color. Okay, now that my flamingos have dried, I'm going to give them a little texture. I'm going to use Waverly Mineral colored chalk paint, and I'm just going to use a chip brush, and I'm going to get most of the paint off my chip brush, and then I'm going to just kind of brush it on here. This gives it a little bit of texture, and it's not just one solid piece. And you could put white on this or any color you want. I'm going to put some white here in a minute over the top of just the feather part. But just get every bit of it just kind of coated because you want some texture to make it not look so just solid colored. It gives it a little bit of depth. And you're really just kind of brushing over the raised areas. And you're going to do that to both of them. Just spend some time on this part because it really does give it a lot of dimension if you do this. I'm coming in with some white and I'm just going over the side feathers. I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm just doing the side feathers only on both sides. Next, I'm going to go ahead and paint the sticks, and I'm just going to use that same mineral paint. And I'm going to paint all 4 of them. And I'm not going all the way to the top where the tip is because that's going to be in the flamingo, but do go all the way to the bottom. And just get all 4 of them evenly coated and make them smooth. And then I'm just going to stick them in my little styrofoam to let them dry. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of glue down in your holes and go ahead and stick your sticks. You're going to stick your sticks in the base first, and then we'll put them up into the flamingo. And you want to make sure that you go all the way to the bottom there. And then go ahead and stick them up into the flamingo, and we'll just add a little bit of glue down at the bottom just to hold them in place. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and take some black paint, and I'm going to paint the eyes. Now, don't look at that thing on his neck right there, because I changed it up here in a minute, and I'll show you all that here in just a second. Because there is a hole in the front of the flamingo. But just kind of take your time on this. Take a real pointed paintbrush and go ahead and paint those. And they're defined for you, so you'll see exactly where to paint. Okay, now this is something you should do before you paint. Go ahead and put a little hot glue right in here and smooth it out over the top of it, and then you won't have a hole there. And when you paint it, it'll paint it smooth. Just go ahead and get it filled in right there. It just hoses up the opening, and then you can go ahead and paint. I'm going to have to go back and paint mine now because I decided to do this after the fact. But you kind of want to make sure that it is smooth and flat on top. And then go ahead and paint it. These are a great decor piece if you do like neutral coastal. These actually don't really look like plastic in person. They look like a glossed over ceramic. And you can put these outside as well. Just put them out by your pool or something like that. This next one, I'm just using a tray that I got at IKEA. This is just a drawer organizer. And I'm going to clean it off with alcohol. Just rubbing alcohol just to kind of clean it up before I paint it. I paint the inside with a Krylon Fusion. It's a textured sandstone paint. After that's dried, I'm just going to take some jute. I'm going to start in the middle of the back, and I'm just going to glue all the way around. Now, I'm just gluing onto the rope first, then I decide to glue onto the tray. You just want to kind of make sure that you don't put so much that it oozes. You don't want to see the glue. And you don't have to trim this out if you don't want to. It looked good either way. Okay, and then I'm just using some sand I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to fill each one of the little cavities full. And I ended up using 2 bags of sand. Just kind of even it out a little bit. Okay, and then to give it the coastal vibe, I'm just going to go ahead and add some starfishes and some sand dollars. I'm going to put a candle in here. And then I bought some vase filler from Michael's, and it has a few things like driftwood and some seashells and stuff like that. And I'm just going to kind of fill it up, kind of just give it a little coastal look. And this will be pretty on a coffee table or anywhere, but it's just something that's pretty simple. Okay, then I got these little bottles at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to put like a little message in it, just a handwritten note to create a message in a bottle. And I did 3 of these. And I'm just putting them in. That was pretty much it. Pretty simple. This would be a great little tray if you go to the coast and stuff like that and you collect little things. You could just kind of build on this and put things that remind you of your trip. Just a little centerpiece that just is kind of like a conversational piece. And it was so easy to make. Let me know what you think in the comments. Next one, I got this little vase at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to spray paint it with a aqua sea glass Krylon paint. Okay, and this is just a frosted paint, so you'll be able to kind of see through the glass, but just kind of get it evenly coated. Don't concentrate in one area so much or you will have runs. But this did go on pretty nicely, and I'm just going to start going crossways, and then I'm going to go up and down, so kind of change it up a little bit. And I have my vase sitting on top of just a regular plastic cup, so that I can make sure that I get it evenly on the bottom without getting it oozed up on the top. Okay, after that's dried, you want to go ahead and flip it over, and you want to go ahead and paint the top part. And this is where I'm going to go sideways on it. Okay, look how pretty that is. Now that it's completely done, I'm just going to take some of the rope I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to wrap it around the bottom, and I'm going to wrap it around the neck. This is just a simple little project. I'm not doing anything major to this one. This is just a super simple one that you could use pretty much year-round. And you don't have to be a coastal person to enjoy the blue vase. It's just so pretty. And then go ahead and glue your ends together so they don't come apart. And then just wrap it around and then cut that off to where they join. And then just go ahead and glue that together too, because it does unravel if you don't. And then just center it in the center, and then go ahead and put a little bead of glue right at the center. And you're going to stand it up to make sure it is level with the ground, or level with your table. And then just glue that in. That was pretty simple on that one. Okay, then I'm going to put another one exactly like that one at the neck. And go ahead and glue your ends because this will unravel. And then I'm just going to glue this right around the top part. This was a really pretty easy one, but I tell you what, that frosted glass color is really pretty. And they also make that in like a seafoam green too that is very pretty as well. And you could use this for any kind of decor. It doesn't have to be a coastal decor. And then I'm just going to add a pool noodle to the center of it, and I'm just going to add some flowers. All right, look how pretty that is. Just something simple, but it is pretty. Really love the way the frosted glass turned out on this. Let me know what you think and if you've used this before. Next, I'm going to take one of the Dollar Tree vases, and I'm going to come up about 2.5 inches from the bottom. And I'm just going to mask this off. And then just try to get your tape as straight as you can, because otherwise you will see it once you paint it. I'm just going to take a sheet of paper, I'm going to wrap it around here, and I'm going to tape this off. That way I don't get any overspray on the top part of my vase. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and spray paint the bottom of it with the Krylon Matte River Rock paint. And then I got this little pedestal at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint it with a satin white, just a bright white. After those have dried, I'm going to join these two together, and I'm going to use some E6000 glue and hot glue to attach the two together. Just go around the top edge of there, and then don't worry so much if you get a little bit of glue out, because we are going to cover this up. Those are dry. I got some of this seagrass on Temu, and I'll give you the link for it. It's really a pretty texture, and I'm just going to put it right around the bottom where these two join. And I'm just going to put this on with hot glue. Next, I'm going to take some jute, and I'm going to just attach it right along the line of that paint. And I'm going to go around this about 4 times. Then I'm just going to take a little sand dollar, and I'm going to add some E6000 glue and hot glue, and I'm just going to attach it right over that jute. This was a really quick project. I'm just going to add a little bit of sand that I got at the Dollar Tree, and then I'm just going to put a candle in it. This was pretty simple, but look how pretty that is. Yeah, I really like the way this one turned out. It was pretty easy. The only thing is I could have got my candle a little bit straighter. This next one, I'm just taking a piece of scrap wood, and I'm going to take some neutral coastal colors. I'm using white, I'm using mineral, Barcelona beige, and French linen chalk paint. And I'm just going to use a paint sponge, and I'm going to start with the white, and I'm going to graduate up to the darker color. So I'm going to go white, then I'm going to do French linen, And then I'm going to do mineral, and then I'm going to do Barcelona beige. And then I'm going to flip my sponge around and do the same thing again. And I'll show you how I'm going to blend all this out here in a little bit. Go ahead and wash your sponge out and repeat that exact same pattern. Just flip your sponge around and do the same thing. Next, I'm going to grab a chip brush and I'm going to start blending in the colors. Just kind of go randomly on here just to kind of blend them in and soften up those lines. And use the colors that join each other. And I'm just dabbing it off on a paper towel to kind of get some of the paint off of my brush. And then go ahead and paint your sides. After that's dried, I'm just going to take some sand dollars that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to attach these with hot glue and E6000 glue. This is just a real neutral piece. I like the way this one turned out. I just put it up in front of some plants to kind of give some greenery, almost like it looked like a box. You could do other colors in this. These were all very budget friendly. Most of the supplies came from the Dollar Tree. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if nobody's told you today, you're awesome. Have a wonderful weekend.